up, guys?
Yeah, it's me, Deven, and it's Daman, bro. So basically, we're gonna be reacting to the top 20 most terrifying and disturbing serial killers.
Alright, yo, let's go, bro.
Okay, look. Now, basically, the basis, all I want you guys to do is share this video, because we need to get more views.
I go off into fantasy worlds that you never want to share with anybody because they're so cruel.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're examining the 20 most terrifying and disturbing serial killers.
What the hell is that?
The more you listen to Samuel Little, the more horrific the story becomes.
For this list, we'll be looking at the creepiest multiple fatality felons that kept us up late at night due to their terrible actions and unsettling behavior. Which of these appall you the most? Let us know below. Dennis Rader. Having named himself BTK after his modus operandi, for 20 years, Rader was a massive thorn in the side of the police in Kansas.
When BTK came forward, everybody's life changed. He would see a woman walking and he would say, "She's next."
Like the infamous Jack the Ripper, he sent mocking letters to the cops.
Talking about that, yo, that guy is...
Hey, shut up and unpause. Nobody wants you to talk
media. But in person, Rader seemed nice. He had a loving family and was the president of his local church congregation. His first victims were the Otero family in 1974, and his 10th and last victim was Dolores Davis in 1991. Then he dropped off the map, but in 2004 he began taunting them once again. However, he got sloppy with a floppy disk, and it was traced to his church.
He asks the police in one of the communications,
Sloppy with a floppy disk is fair enough.
Yeah.
what if I were to give you a floppy disk with more details of the killings? Could you identify me?
In 2005, Rader pleaded guilty and got 10 consecutive life sentences.
Damn. They call him bro the devil, bro. Oh, yeah. Forgot, I got it.
Yo, who has
Consecutive
that?
life sentences. Robert Hansen. As a teenager, Robert Hansen would take part in hunting to escape his rough home life. But as he got older, his victims went from animals to human beings. He would abduct women, often sex workers, and assault them before driving or flying them out to the wilderness. Here was where he would hunt them down like prey, toying with their lives. Nicknamed the Butcher Baker by the media, Hansen was confirmed to have assaulted and killed at least 17 women.
In his confession, Hansen described how he would take his victims into the woods and hunt them as prey.
In 1983, a teenage sex worker named Cindy Paulson was set to be on that list. However, she managed to escape when he was stalking his plane and alerted the authorities, who would arrest him. He received a sentence of 461 years and died in prison after serving 31 years.
We gotta talk, bro. 461. Yo, bro. They literally saying bro's the devil.
For real,
Like,
man.
that's that one. You remember that one thing where it's like, you will serve 41 consecutive life sentences, and once you reach the afterlife, you will be charged with an attempted escape charge, for which you will be reincarnated and spend another life sentence. Like, bro, that's literally what they gave him, bro.
After his sentencing, Hansen accompanied troopers into the field to find more of his victims, represented by X's on his map.
Israel Keys. What's most terrifying for the police and the public is a killer with no MO. But to make things worse, how about one who was also trained by the U.S. Army? This was the case of Israel Keys.
I would let them come out to me. This is the remote area. If I go to a remote area that's not anywhere near where you live, but that I don't think people are going to do well.
Across the country, Keys had set up kill kits, which gave him access to equipment wherever he decided to attack someone. After he killed 18-year-old Samantha Koenig, the FBI was able to track his bank account up kill kits, which gave him access to equipment wherever he decided to attack someone. After he killed...
How do you get kidnapped in Alaska? Who lives in Alaska, bro?
That's like saying, what? Dude, if there's people in Alaska, you're gonna get kidnapped.
Bro, there's like 2 people who live in Alaska, bro.
2 people. Clearly, he kidnapped one of them then.
Okay, but look at that reward, though. That's $41,000.
18-year-old Samantha Koenig. The FBI was able to track his bank account use and make an arrest following the demand for a ransom.
Police arrested 34-year-old Israel Keys 4,000 miles away in Texas.
Once he was in custody, however, it was discovered that Keys was responsible for the murder of multiple victims.
We did spend a fair amount of time talking about his crimes and his offenses as well, and those times were definitely very chilling to hear him talk about what he's done.
Before he faced trial in 2012, Keys took his own life, and taking with him information that might have been used to solve other crimes. That might have been used to solve other crimes. Marcel Petiot. With France under German occupation in the 1940s, Marcel Petiot, a doctor, preyed on those attempting to escape persecution. Later claiming he was working for the resistance, even though there was no evidence, Petiot set up a fake escape route under the name Dr. Eugène.
In the midst of the German occupation during World War II, Petiot is considered a hero for operating a secret escape route for Jewish people attempting to leave Paris.
He gave those running a fake vaccine containing cyanide before stealing their valuables and disposing of their bodies. 23 remains were discovered, but Petiot's lifetime victim count is suspected to be as high as 60, if not higher. In 1946, Petiot was executed by guillotine, which was still the country's method of capital punishment at the time.
His last words? Gentlemen, I ask you not to look. This will not be very pretty.
Karl Denke. Born in modern-day Poland in 1860, Karl Denke appeared to be a beloved member of his community. After all, they nicknamed him Papa, as he let homeless people live in his house for free and volunteered at his local church for a time. But away from prying eyes, he held a very dark secret. In 1924, a badly injured Vincent Olivier alerted townsfolk that he was attacked by Denke. While the authorities didn't believe him, they later arrested their stand-up citizen as they investigated. Shortly after, Denke took his own life. The police then found human remains of at least 30 people in his house, some of which were made into items. There's also speculation Denke sold the remains to unsuspecting locals. Joseph James D'Angelo. Police officers are meant to be honorable and find justice for victims, not cause a wake of destruction like Joseph James D'Angelo.
For decades, Joseph James D'Angelo was America's most wanted man. The Golden State Killer.
In 1976, he began his spree of assaults and burglaries in Sacramento, California. In the space of 3 years, he had committed 50 attacks. By 1978, D'Angelo progressed by slaying Brian and Katie Maggiore. He morphed into the original Night Stalker and later the Golden State Killer before the crime stopped in 1986. Then, in 2018, the police used genetic genealogy from the DNA found at D'Angelo's crimes to trace it back to him.
The search takes anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. Within a day, I had the list of potential relatives to the Golden State Killer.
In 2020, amongst several charges, he pled guilty to 13 murders as part of a deal to avoid capital punishment and got a life sentence.
But tonight, the Golden State Killer muttering,
He killed like 13 people. He only got one life sentence. There were guys who killed like 5
He had a
people.
good lawyer, probably.
There were guys who killed 5 people and got 460 years in prison.
But he must have had a good lawyer. The other guy probably didn't even have one. So.
I mean, yeah, but you gotta remember, all these dudes
this
are
apology to his victims.
And I'm...
Oh my god!
Wait, what? But tonight, the Golden State Killer muttering this apology to his victims.
And I'm... really sorry.
Moments later, Joe D'Angelo was sentenced to life without parole.
Dean Corll. After leaving the Army in 1965, Dean Corll returned to Houston, Texas to work in the family candy business. He was known to hand Dean Corll.
Does that look like a does that look like a human, bro?
Not really.
Bro,
Yeah.
like that's a demon. Yeah, crucify that. Like he The separation between bro's eyebrows is like so far that he doesn't look human. Like that's
After leaving the Army in 1965, Dean Coral returns to Houston, Texas to work in the family candy business. He was known to hand out free treats to children, earning him the nickname Candyman.
Known as the Candyman. Because of his family's sweet shop that used to be across from the school off 22nd Street.
Shortly after, he began a relationship with the underage David Owen Brooks. When Coral began his killing spree in 1970, Brooks helped him select victims. Coral then got Elmer Wayne Henley involved too. In 1973, after slaying 28 people, Coral decided to take out Henley along with 2 other victims. The teenager managed to convince Coral that he was on his side. But when the opportunity arose, Henley fatally shot his former mentor. Both Brooks and Henley received multiple life sentences. David Parker Ray. Sometimes killers go that extra terrifying mile with their modus operandi. David Parker Ray modified a trailer that would be labeled his toy box. The trailer was soundproofed and filled with instruments for his violence.
He called it the Den of Satan.
See, like,
He would abduct women.
However much they give this guy, it's not enough. Like, torturing people, like, even if you torture one guy, I feel like torturing should be a life sentence.
No, I think torture should be the worst. I think you should be tortured if you torture somebody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's what they do in some communist countries. Isn't that true? I think, like, if you do a crime, you get a crime. Like, if you rape someone, you get raped. I think.
I don't know, but I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like it's necessary. It's like what this guy is doing.
Abused them for months in the trailer, and presumably eventually end their lives, sometimes with accomplices, one of them being his girlfriend, Cynthia Hendy. In 1999...
How did bro have a girlfriend? Dude, you know, like, you understand. He had to tell his girlfriend. Think about this. He had to tell his girlfriend, yeah, I torture and murder women. Do you want to tag along?
And then the fact that she said yes is even more.
A woman managed to escape the toy box after 3 days and get help from a neighbor.
And this time you deserve happy people. I know what happened.
Help from a neighbor.
What I went through. And this time you deserve happy people.
In 1999, a woman managed to escape the toy box after 3 days and get help from a neighbor.
What I went through. And this time you deserve happy people. I know what happened.
The police immediately arrested Ray and Hendy. On a plea deal, Ray was sentenced to 224 years in jail, while Hendy, who testified against her former partner, got 36 years. It's unknown how many women Ray killed, but some estimates are upwards of 60.
He claimed.
Like, you know how the lady, she kind of got away by getting 36?
Yeah.
Bro? I feel like if you get like 36, like, bro, that's still half your life gone.
Claimed to have abducted 40 women from across the U.S. Since no bodies were ever found, he was never charged, and he never will be. Ray died in prison in 2002 by heart attack.
Edmund Kemper. At 6'9", Edmund Kemper was an intimidating figure.
I was dreaming, thinking, fantasizing murder all day long. I couldn't get it out of my head.
But with his gentle demeanor, he seemed harmless. However, as a teenager and
every other murder you see here, you can usually beat, bro. He's 6'9", like 330, bro. Probably.
Oh man.
1964, he fatally shot his grandparents. 5 years later, he was released from a psychiatric hospital.
What?
Like, dude, you could have said, at 1994, he murdered his first victim. He shot his grandparents.
That's
bro, what was Granny doing, bro?
Right.
And went to live with his abusive mother, Clarnell Strandberg. To live with his abusive mother, Clarnell Strandberg. By 1972, Kemper began driving around Santa Cruz, California, picking up young women who were hitchhiking. He would act impatiently, which enticed them inside the vehicle since they believed he was too busy to be an attacker.
In custody,
Edmund Kemper would reveal to investigators the full horror of his extraordinary crimes in minute and graphic detail.
But he was. This MO earned him the nickname the Co-Ed Killer. In 1973, he brutally killed his mother and her friend before handing himself to the police. With 10 victims altogether, Kemper received a life sentence. Andrei Chikatilo. Having grown up in difficult circumstances in rural Ukraine under USSR rule, something broke in Andrei Chikatilo. But to the outside world, all seemed okay. He had a wife.
Bro, his last name was Chikatilo. I think I'd go on a killing rampage if my last name was Chikatilo. Look at bro. Like, bro, no, see, like, his mom, I don't know why she doesn't care. You can tell bro's dad was mad that he was named Chikatilo. Like, bro.
2 kids, and began working as a school teacher in 1971.
As a teacher, the 34-year-old hoped to find acceptance and respect, and yet instead he found constant humiliation. His students didn't take him seriously. They refused to behave and smoked right in front of him in the classroom.
But not long after getting the job, Chikatilo began assaulting pupils. By 1978, he moved on to killing, with his wife providing him an alibi. Using jobs that required traveling as a cover, by 1990, Chikatilo claimed to have slain 56 people, mostly in the Rostov Oblast, earning him the moniker the Butcher of Rostov. After being arrested and later confessing to his tirade of crimes, Chikatilo was held in a cage in court.
He probably, in some respects, wanted to be caught. I can't imagine somebody doing that for all those many years and not realizing that he was living in a hell of his own creation.
He was found guilty and executed in 1994. Ted Bundy. In the 1970s, many women came to the aid of a man, often appearing injured, who needed help in one form or another. With his good looks and charisma, this mystery guy seemed genuine. Instead, he was one of the most infamous killers in history, as he forced his victims into his car.
The chances he took, it's not just that he went out and committed murder, but he seemed impervious to fear. And from there the nightmare began.
Ted Bundy escaped capture.
I feel like that's kind of lame, bro. How are you only killing women?
Right, that means
That's
that you
lame.
can't fight a guy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because bro's like
okay,
what?
first of all, it's not good in the first place to even kill at all, but if you really are, like, a sick human being.
Yeah, just kill both genders, bro.
Right.
You're kidding. Why are you attacking only women? That's how I can tell you're 5'4".
Anyways, it doesn't matter what you're killing, you're still a sick, horrible person.
Yeah.
Multiple times, continuing his grim spree as he did. But by 1980, he faced court for the final time. Bundy had confessed to slaying 30 women and teenagers across multiple states in the U.S. However, there's speculation that the true figure could be over 100. For the third and final time in his life.
Yeah, that's true, because you know, like, a lot of murderers, how much they say, they often forget. Like, how much they actually kill, because they kill so much.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Bundy was sentenced to capital punishment, which took place in 1989.
So it ended for Ted Bundy. 10 years, 28 confessions, millions in Florida's legal battle to end his life.
Ed Gein.
Ed was 29, cooking a burger on the 237 Patriot Highway.
What is that?
Battle to end his life.
Ed Gein. Serving as inspiration for several horror movie villains, such as Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs and Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Bro, like, you know something I don't understand about Ed Gein? Like, I hear, oh, he's a murderer, then I hear, oh, he's a grave robber. Like, I don't understand.
He's a light grave robber?
Yeah, see, I don't understand. Like, what's the exact number he killed or versus grave robbed? I understand it's so old, you can't even figure it out at this point, but, like, bro.
Ed Gein was a disturbing killer.
Twisted Killer was a quiet loner named Ed Gein. Hidden inside the 51-year-old's rural farmhouse was a ghoulish treasure trove.
He was raised by an abusive mother that taught him that women were evil. In 1957, one Bernice Warden vanished in Wisconsin. Following a lead, the police arrived at Gein's isolated house and discovered a terrible scene. On top of Warden's body, they found a catalog of items made from human remains. Altogether, there were pieces made from around 40 people. Gein claims to have grave robbed most of the remains. In 1968, he was deemed fit to stand trial and was found guilty of warden slaying. Geen spent his remaining years in psychiatric hospitals.
He was such a little person that I found it hard to picture him as the person who committed all those homicides. He lived there very peacefully. He never caused any problems.
John Wayne Gacy. One pretty common phobia is clowns, and the case of John Wayne Gacy certainly didn't help ease any of those fears.
36-year-old John Wayne Gacy was a popular socialite who spent his weekends dressed as a clown, entertaining children.
Gacy regularly performed in a clown persona at parties and events, but behind the scenes, he was a rampant killer of boys and men. In 1978, after suspecting the police were on him, a paranoid Gacy would confess his crimes to his lawyers. The police had what they needed to search his house, where they would find several remains in his crawl space.
29 bodies buried in that house of his on Summerdale, a crime of horrendous proportions. In the crawl space underneath, bodies covered with lime and encased in plastic.
He was charged with the assassination of 33 young men and would spend 14 years on death row before being executed by lethal injection.
It was a circus. We were in a room at some point and we saw a television screen and we saw thousands of people lined up at least a mile down the street at the prison with signs, "Kill the clown, kill Gacy."
Fred and Rosemary West. Occasionally, serial killers come in pairs.
You're talking about two people who literally plumb the depths of human depravity.
While Fred had murdered in the past before meeting Rosemary Letts, Rose's first victim was purportedly Fred's stepdaughter.
What is this at?
Rose's first victim was purportedly Fred's stepdaughter. The two then went on a rampage, assaulting and killing 9 other people together, including West's first wife, Catherine Costello, and their daughter, Heather West. Many of the bodies were buried on their properties.
Even though they were not alive, he wants access. He wants to feel that he can actually be part of this area, and they are part of this area. This is his private graveyard.
After investigating assault charges against the couple, the police found evidence of the violence. Although officially charged with 12 killings altogether, that number is estimated to be higher. In 1995, before his trial, West took his own life, and Letts was sentenced to life in prison.
And I was absolutely gutted. I wanted him to pay the proper price.
We'll give y'all that tomorrow.
Took his own way.
I'm dipping out.